Other for me, some money na acquire by the back Ghanatube. One money say Ghanatube dear. Information na bring ya bibia ya promise say. Ya never bring mo na musmunya so na ma hwene meti na mehu ade ekoso e wo Ghana ase. Any wiase afa na nya. Other for breaking news kese na babetodwa. Mo amonim say NDC fo amemu e na woso no. Na we no NDC fo o manka so mo grassroots, o mo members, o mo supporters. And on my Bible, until the before den and they are called John Dramani Mahama in the office. Aden, yes, see John Dramani Mahama buy no or more Juman ye or more moon Tom ye. Just Omoka Sampua, NDC 4 and John Dramani Mahama, Beso Betty or myself for into NDC 4 no supporters the grassroots no. Maybe says, see, no, or Mobile resign if NDC ana, Ako NDP and see, I almost say NDC 4 in few Omunti o masem omokasa omuntie omomo adwumanye ntisia no omba be resign ya na dofo we asem sebe atese ababeto dwadendende NDC fo nyina omobuefu omoankasa mo party a chese nsem na edeja meso meji ni nyina brew e wo Ghana dofo message so bedi mechi na wonya so na wahwe yie na wetie nsem NDC fo ankasa grassroots omaba abonten a chese omobuefu dendende because omoankasa omaban no Oma reject omu anaso mumfi omu itinu odofo omu ba be resign na mo ko nego tin se ma ekoso e Ghanatube member isia.
The government and the leadership of the ruling National Democratic Congress are coming under intense pressure from sections of the party's grassroots who say they feel sidelined after the NDC's return to power. Some supporters and campaign volunteers have taken to social media and local party platforms to express disappointment, demanding recognition and job opportunities in return for their efforts during the campaign. Party leadership has since been engaging stakeholders across the country, appealing for calm and unity while assuring members that their concerns are being addressed. Officials say leadership is developing practical and fair ways to resolve issues relating to jobs, welfare, and inclusion within the party structure. Let's engage Deputy Forestry Commission boss Elikem Kotoko is joining us on this subject matter, but as well we'll hear from the chair of the party, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, who has been going around touring on a thank you tour as well in relation to this. But let's connect right now with Elikem Kotoko. Elikem, thank you very much for joining us. Many grassroots members, and I'm sure you yourself would have come under some pressure, messages in your DMs amongst many others, asking that where are the jobs? After the party's win, there's been a neglect of some sort. What is the reality you're facing to start off with? And then we can begin to talk about what steps are being taken to address these concerns among the rank and file.
Thank you so much, my brother, and good afternoon to your viewers. Sincerely, what has been said on your platform is no different from the reality on the ground. Indeed, many of us are fully aware that there was a ticking time bomb right from when we were in opposition to when we got into power. That is of the teeming unemployment in our youth. And there's a need for us to make sure we close that gap to avoid the major national security threat it poses to a country. Yes, I agree that myself as an appointee of His Excellency the President, the core mandate we have is not only to perform and do well in terms of the field we find ourselves, but that is also to make sure that we create opportunities for Ghanaians so that they can also find jobs to do. It is understandably okay with the concerns being raised by the many of our young men and women who feel, I don't think they feel neglected. They rather feel that they are in a haste. They feel that they must be employed immediately and they feel they're employable. But I admit me to say that they would only seek their tolerance and patience, which is very key. But most importantly, there's a need for a proper assessment of the situation. Then we can be able to escalate further what actions need to be taken. You agree with me that no major recruitments are being done yet, but you would agree also with what the YEA through its CEO, Malik Basintali, has been doing with some mass recruitment at the low-level area in terms of the 2,000 here, 3,000 here for the prisons or the fire service and all of that. National security may be doing some, but the general agencies have not really done any of such yet. But we must say that it is not to rule out the fact that these are genuine concerns. But some of the agencies have some issues. There are issues of overstaffing. There are issues of proper forensic audit to know who has got what qualification to actually get what job in the past years. Was somebody promoted unduly? Was somebody not qualified and placed somewhere? Was a square peg put in a round hole? There are some people even with fake certificates. And so it's just a matter of time. I can only add my voice also to that which has already been said by many of our stalwarts within the party, that our comrades and Ghanaians should just restrain themselves and have a little more patience. President Mahama's ultimate aim is to provide jobs for the youth. As he and his team is working assiduously, the ultimate aim is to expand the frontiers, not to only provide jobs, but provide opportunities for many, so they can also do what they think they want to do. There may be somebody who at the moment is unemployed, but may not necessarily need a job, because what he needs is an opportunity to advance what skills or intellectual ability that he can push forward in order to be successful in whatever field he or she finds himself. So a little bit more of patience will do. We have taken notice of that. I am wearing two caps as a deputy CEO of Forestry Commission and also as deputy national organizer of the governing party. So I understand the concerns. It is not as if anybody has neglected them. There is an overwhelming pressure on that. Not everybody will get job the first day, the second day, or the third day. There were job creation revenues made from now till even over a 4-year period. And so
I hear you on the explanation you're offering, but for persons who feel they've worked for the party, they were pivotal in courses of action which led to the victory of the NDC, what is acceptable timelines they can look forward to over these concerns of jobs? And then I'll come to, perhaps I'll ask that as well, so that you just tackle that for me because of time. What the party leadership is seeking to do, unfortunately, it does appear we may have lost Elikem Kotoko via Zoom, but let's hear from the chair of the NDC as well, Johnson Asiedu Nketia. Like I mentioned, he's been going around the country on a thank you tour. He's also been speaking to the issues of jobs and the concerns a number of the party folks have been bringing to him. Let's listen.
Equally, if you don't support President Mahama to deliver on those promises, Ghanaians have never forgotten where they took us from before they brought us onto the seat. If it becomes necessary for them to take us back, they know the way to take us back. And so, in our struggle for positions, don't let us conduct ourselves in ways that will frustrate the achievement of the manifesto promises. It is our ability to achieve the manifesto promises that will enable Ghanaians to keep us in power. And if we are in power for long, the ministerial position you didn't get this time around, you may get it another time. So the key to our common success is to come together and support the government to deliver on our manifesto promises.
That's the chair of the NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, and thankfully Elikem is back on Zoom with us again. Elikem, I was asking about acceptable timelines for some of the people who feel they've worked hard enough for the party to return, and hearing the chair of the party as well say that, look, come together and let's work to ensure that the NDC continues to remain in power. How do you tell persons who feel aggrieved that they've worked hard enough, they haven't got jobs, to still come together and want to push for the party to remain in power?
Yeah, I agree. The question is more or less like putting me in a round hole and asking me to urinate in the corner. There's no corner there. But the truth is that we appreciate these concerns. As you will know, the party wrote on a manifesto to come to power. For instance, if the president is rolling out the National Apprenticeship Program, that will play a pivotal role for those who want to learn a skill and other things. So in rolling out our manifesto, that is also going to be opening up job avenues and opportunities. You agree with me that at the formation of the Gold Board, for instance, I mean, it takes human beings to work over there. Our communications officer, Comrade Sami Jemfi, is working with very young, enterprising Ghanaians over there. That created an opportunity to recruit a lot of people over there as well. It is the reason why we need our people to understand that even though timelines cannot be given, but we all know that government has a 4-year period. It is not to say that everybody should wait for 4 years, but within the shortest possible time, as we are rolling out our manifesto promises contained in the manifesto, it will be outlining or providing job avenues that many of them would also be taking advantage of. And this is something I know that they are all aware they will. It is just the patience and the tolerance, which is difficult because the economic pressures they have endured over the past few years up to now has not been easy at all. It is also the reason why we cannot provide everything at a go, but we must always listen to them. And just like the national chairman said, indeed, we need to still continue to work together for the success of this government. And that is what is going to create the enabling environment and atmosphere to soak everybody in for the opportunities that they need to take advantage of.
Lamata, is it the case that the approach to the politicking and everything is creating a problem because everybody wants a job after the party has won when you should be working towards the development of the country amongst many other things? Are both parties, I say both parties because this was experienced under the NPP as well, are both parties approaching the governance all wrong in terms of how the party is going around doing its work in the lead up to winning the election, such that these pressures come up and it could force you to lose focus in terms of the development of the country, which is the reason why you clamored for power anyways?
Not at all. Not at all. It would be a very misplaced argument if anybody wants to suggest so. People getting jobs is part of the development agenda of a country. When they get jobs, they are not working only for themselves, they are working for the country. So the only concern is to tell you that in Africa, jobs are a major campaign tool, or campaign message. And therefore, we must also put in much effort to ensure we close that gap as much as we can. Then the will now even move from jobs to another thing on the other. So people coming to do jobs or to get an atmosphere to work is contributing their quota to national development. It is undoubtedly true that they also make a living out of that, but it does not rule out the fact that that is an avenue to promote or to push the Ghanaian agenda. So it is never wrong for both political parties or politicians to promise. So jobs are being promised and it is being created. I mean, to give you an example, the construction works that are going on, the research agenda, if there's construction work going on, there are people. It also depends the class of people that are looking for the job. Some are already employed, but they want to switch or upgrade. Some want to just transfer across, amongst other things. There are some who have no work at all and want just to earn a living. So we need to put them all right. But the substantive matter remains that we must create better opportunities for people, and not only those who we think work for the NDC. I appreciate you speaking to us. Asalikem Kotoko is a deputy at the Forestry Commission, speaking to us on what is a pressing challenge for the NDC and its leadership as some grassroots in different platforms continue to pile pressure about jobs. We bring you stories from the other side of the political divide.
For when breaking news, if NDC for Akachi Abetobia, Mr. Beginning in Abra, Ghanatube, NDC for Grassroots for Anomania bread, and then they almost say, Yen campaign in Mamu, Yen to Abane Mamu, Mokas Mama Jumaye, you see, I'm buying moon fee and biom into almost Omania bread, and then my babon tia, almost say John Domani Mahamani NDC for some man pay Juma more there. Nase omwenti o masem nase omanfo bu amu pan dia NDC say tintonta ni ya no omoso omba be resign ye fi NDC mako join ye NPP rofo we na ye ensema ekoso NDC party di ma party na ide jate say grassroots fo no omo ba be resign ya ne sa na we asemsem rofo we na breaking news abetobia Mr. Beginning na bra Ghanatube of mo mfisem be like no ma subscribe no ma share no ma hit notification bell no so am say na be ya bring ya bibia dope content say ya wo ya netempa no ahwe no with for aha ɛna bɛde nsɛm no nyinaa bɛsi wɔ Ghanatube so dɔfoɔ maka mu nyinaa meda mo nyinaa ase bebree